And I think we're gonna go live here
again. Everything works on my end now. We are on the server. Let's kick it off.
Yeah. So this is the second attempt, warm-up and then live. Hopefully everything is working for you, riolu. But we have a spicy match coming up here. It's the winner bracket final. We have Otaaaq, MiQuatro, Barbos, and then also, where is he? Binks, who's starting late, who are battling out for 2 spots in the grand final already. The other 2 people who go in P3 and 4 have to play again another match in the consolidation final. So looking forward to that. And yeah, this is a banger. We're gonna start with Rumble. Rumble, a map that has not been a part of the map pack in the TCS, but it's definitely a hard map. The WR is from Feet, who's not playing here, but Barbos has a top 3 time on this one with a 52.77.
Alright, so we have a banger of the matchup here actually. I think all these players definitely have the chance to make it into the next round. The 2 winning players from this match will make it into the grand final. And in the grand final, we're going to fight it out for this amazing prize pool of 1,300 euro. Actually, Turbo, that's a lot of money. What would you do with 1,300 euro?
I don't know. Buying cryptos?
Wow, crypto.
Or Pokemon cards.
Turbo's going for the stonks here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. Going for the stonks.
All right.
But yeah, what is...
not live?
What is happening?
Not live yet?
Wait, what is going on here? My pad, sorry.
Otaaaq with some pad issues. You do have them every now and then. It does happen. The game pads. You love to hate it. You love to
hate them.
You love to hate it. But it makes sense though, because sometimes it is a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
You hate your pad because sometimes it doesn't work, but you love it because it's your instrument to play the game with.
The instrument, yeah. Your instrument. What instrument are you playing? I'm playing a gamepad.
Same.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? But I think we're live. I think we should stop memeing around and be a little bit more professional. Says the one who's memeing around the most here. But let's go into the first round here. I'm just taking it over here as I'm following Binks here, the easy player who just promoted into the Trackmania Grand League and has beaten Soja, who also plays this competition. So Soja also looked very strong, but that's something else. Binks currently in the lead. Great turn here, great inside turn. Not the best amount of speed here. And it is MiQuatro who goes into the lead. So we only have 20 seconds left of track, and here it's important to really get yourself a lot of speed. You see MiQuatro gets himself it really nicely, also going through that triangle very well, and he is leading the round. Let's take a look. Will MiQuatro stay ahead? Can he retain the lead, or is it Binks who goes for the attack on the ending? Really a lot of speed that you have to accumulate. Binks with more speed. Who's gonna get first? Binks is actually taking it here with a 17 thousandths of a gap and a sub 53 time, and that was something outside. I have to close my window. I'll be right back.
That's all good. So that was a really, really good round to kick it off with. We see a 52.99 and a 53.01 for the top 2 placements. So that is a really, really nice battle, and it basically shows you what to expect from a match like this. Tech has, of course, been a very prominent and the most popular competitive style in Trackmania for years, which means the skill ceiling is very high, and the matches are pretty much bound to be close every time we play a competition like this. And it is not going to be an exception here, especially with this very nice prize pool that we have on the barbecue tonight. So the first 10 points, to quickly talk about the format, we have 10 points going to first place, 6 points going to second, 4 to third, and 3 points going to the last finisher of each round. So that means you definitely do want to finish all your rounds. DNFs are something you really, really cannot afford in a competition like this. And the point system is 120, or the point limit is 120. So we will play out until the first player reaches 120 points.
Jesus
and then we're going to be playing in finalist mode. And that is one hell of a time by German player Barbos, who is definitely setting a sign here, 52.81.
This time is 700ths behind WR.
That's ridiculous.
So
wow.
A sub 53 is already like ridiculous. I could never achieve that in my life. But yeah, Barbos is just pushing it here. He's pushing the boundaries. And we see the first mistake here from Binks, who's also having 12 points. So good a performance for him. But who's falling a bit behind is Otaaaq with a 3 and 4 pointer. But now batting it out here with MiQuatro and Barbos. And yeah, also the change here, exactly, it's 120 points now because we are in the final stages of the tournament and not 100 points than beforehand. And if you have surpassed this 120 points barrier, or if you've just reached that, you're going to activate finest mode and then win one more round in order to be either first and second. Barbos again on a monster time here, a lot of speed in the ending. This might be another sub 53 time. My god, Barbos is taking it, 10 points for him. Miku on second, then we have Otaaaq and Binks, both after those mistakes falling behind. But yeah, Barbos on a run here in the last 2 rounds.
He's definitely been one of the players who stepped up a lot, especially in the last few competitions. You always see Barbos with like fast times and great consistency. Also in the Cup of the Day, for example, you often see Barbos around. So he's definitely putting a lot of effort, a lot of time into the game, and it pays off. And he definitely has the chances to get pretty far in this competition, making it into the winner bracket. Oh my god. Well, speaking of which, I just tried to praise Barbos and then he makes the exact same mistake like Binks. We have the double kill right here in the exact same spot. But anyway, like putting a lot of time, and it does bring fruits right now. So there's definitely a high chance for Barbos to get far as the cast's curse is hitting.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the fight for the top. We see the Finnish player MiQuatro currently in the lead, and it is looking like he's going to take another 10-pointer here in front of Otaaaq with a 53-085. This round has been a tiny tad slower than the previous ones. 2 mistakes that we've witnessed right there at the exact same spot. Like, what are the odds as well? Like,
yeah, what are the
pressing
odds?
the exact same way. You don't see that very often.
But also I have received an information before the cast that actually a quadruple finalist situation was taking place beforehand. I think it was also a loser bracket match, so that makes it even more dramatic, because in a loser bracket, so this is a double elimination bracket, and we're currently finding ourselves in the winner bracket. So the persons who are in 3rd and 4th are not eliminated. They just demote, or they drop out down into the lower part of the bracket and will play in the consolidation final, where they face the players who win in the loser bracket final. I think this made sense, right?
It did. I think that was clear.
Yeah. And of course, if you lose in the loser bracket, so also in the consolidation final, you have to say bye-bye, and you will be not disqualified, but you will be out of this competition, you know? And a round was decided by exactly that. One person DNF'd, and I think both people crashed in the same corner, and there was only one more spot on stake. So something like that, there was some ridiculous round. Geek casted that, so I will definitely rewatch that. But let's focus on the next map here. It is Unova, which is the next map. Unova, the next map, also was played, or this map was played in the TCS 3, and the WR here is a 54.34. Definitely not the hardest map, but of course, when a map is not hard, you are pushing it to the absolute maximum, as you see here, MiQuatro's beautiful line in the warm-up. And after the warm-up, we also have 4 live rounds. And yeah, let's see what time Otaaaq does here. Okay. Yeah, just dropping a 0.75, just 0.4 away from WR. Why not?
Yeah, that's not too terrible. I think 1500s away from the local record by Insane, by the way. That's good to see in the leaderboard there.
Yep.
Good old Insane. An old school player from back in the days, also a Finnish player, just like MiQuatro, who also recently joined his new organization, for those who actually missed out on the news. Torsetti, or how you pronounce it, Torsetti Esports from Finland, a Finnish org, by the looks of it. And MiQuatro has recently joined that organization, probably also with OGL or potentially even Trackmania Grand League in mind, as MiQuatro is definitely a super talented player.
Yep.
And has shown that in the previous seasons of the Open Grand League already. Now his chance to maybe get into the grand final here in this competition. Going into the first round here, we see very clean starts from everyone. The German player Barbos right now in the lead, but Otaaaq coming hot and spicy with a very wide line, carrying a lot of exit speed out of that part, and that will push him to first place. Binks has fallen behind a little bit. Binks now with a massive disadvantage, 1.4 seconds. The future Trackmania Grand League player who made it in through the combine a few months ago, and that is the next bonk by Otaaaq, who hit the wall there near the end of the track, leaving Barbos alone with a 0.3 advantage over MiQuatro. Those are some easy points for Barbos, and what a time, 54.65. These times are ridiculously quick, actually.
That is 0.3 away from WR. But I mean, I was expecting times like that. Those players have not lost a single match thus far, and they are ready. They're ready to qualify to the grand final. But if you take a look onto the ranking here, it is a clear gap between second and third already. 11 points between MiQuatro and Binks. So Barbos and MiQuatro both with a very good performance thus far. And now we're going to go into round number 2. So again, Barbos and MiQuatro both with a good start. Then we see Binks and Otaaaq a little bit further behind. Otaaaq going again for a wider line to get more speed over that corner. And it's actually pretty close here. It's very close, so nothing has been decided yet, as Otaaaq goes for a little bit more of a slide here to get himself a better angle in this turn, but still he falls a bit behind. So let's follow Binks here for the last couple of turns. It is Barbos dead. Had to respawn there. Respawn is enabled, but it's not done here for that first position. MiQuatro versus Binks, the easy player versus the Finnish driver, and it's MiQuatro jumping so far to the right, almost touches the turbine.
Damn, the risk.
That was so close, but MiQuatro takes it here. Great ending and another bang over time. A 0.71, a 0.77, and a 0.00. Sometimes a 0.00 is enough to win a round, but Otaaaq has to settle in third position with that time. Great round.
Very good round up front. Definitely some good driving to our portray right now. MiQuatro's taking over the lead with 44 points on the scoreboard. Now 3 points ahead of Barbos, who's sitting there with 41. Binks and Otaaaq already falling behind a little bit, as we're now pretty much 1/3 through this match. Of course, we're playing to 120 with finalist mode, so this is nowhere close to being over for any of the 4 players. Nobody's safe, nobody's sound, and this round is being led by Barbos, who is doing very, very well here in this round, but he is actually getting caught up by some different line choice from MiQuatro and Otaaaq, who are going a little wider. Barbos went very tight, which of course can pay off in some corners. Oh, and that's the too tight now. Too tight, over the edge he goes, clips that little edge right there, has his car bump up, but we still have a great fight between the 3 remaining players. Binks with the side ramp, lowering some airtime, actually pushing him up to first place temporarily, and now everything is going to be decided in the end, and we see Binks actually with a bit more speed, but it won't be enough to close into MiQuatro, who will win the round with a 0.815. Very good fight right there, and fun fact, all the players have a 5 as their 1000th in this round.
Yeah, that is
unbelievable.
Wow. So that is actually a pretty nice fun fact. I mean, the chance by mathematics is like 10, 100, 1000, 1 in 10,000 maybe, something like that. That could be the case. Maybe the chat can correct me there, but you know that is definitely a cool coincidence there. But I'm still flushed by the times that the drivers are doing here on a regular basis. They're driving half a second away from WR, and this every round, and then just a small mistake is deciding the round here. That is great display of skill, and also shows how much effort they put into this map pack and into the tournament. And currently it is Barbos having a very, very good start, but look at the line from Otaaaq here, again opting for more speed, attacking Barbos, but still is not leading the round here. So Otaaaq can maybe snipe himself a 10-pointer. He is really in need of that. He's at 28 points, and with that in last position, but he can also fall down to P4 here, even though he has a very good run. Barbos is safe here in first position, or is he? Is he safe? Ooh. What a great round. Is Otaaaq gonna get second? Oh my god, no he's not, but what a round. A 0.77, and MiQuatro is last. What?
Unbelievable. Imagine getting 4th in this round with a 54.77. That is so unlikely. This round has been absolute bliss to watch. Everyone on an amazing pace. Nobody has, you know, taken it easy in any of the parts. Everyone was going full send basically. That was really nice, man. Really nice.
Yeah, that was, man. That was a crazy round, exactly. And now we have the next map. Not even one of my favorite DNB interpret, but also a map here in this competition. Hybrid Mines is the next map that will be played. And yeah, it's by MD Point, and the WR on this track is by Barbos. By Barbos, of course. He is very fast on this map. He has a 58.34, and this track is not easy, Burim. This track is not easy because, you know, you have a lot of those tight turns, you have a lot of speed checks, and the ending, you have a beam balance part that you have to go over, and then the ending, there is not a safe finish. If you fail the drift beforehand, you have to take a very awkward line that you can easily mess up with a very blind jump at the ending. But this track is nothing but easy. So looking forward to see the players pushing the limits here on this track. And also taking superior racing lines, as we see Barbos currently leading the warm-up. But let's not waste our energy on the warm-up, right?
Indeed, but I'm still interested how Barbos is going to take it, because the warm-up is an important aspect about the entire match. If your warm-up is maybe going a little wrong, then you might be losing confidence for the actual rounds, and that's something you really don't want to happen. As Barbos is just driving another 0.65 in the warm-up, and I think this guy has the confidence. This guy knows what he's doing. He's put in the practice. He's put in the time.
Yep.
And I think Barbos really wants to take home this whole thing here. It really looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, a fun fact, MiQuatro and Barbos were the top 2 seeded players after the first rounds. So it's no wonder that they're performing that well, but Barbos is just ready. I think he didn't pull an all-nighter to practice the maps because the competition is split into 2 days, or was split into 2 days. But now not the best start here for Barbos. Had to readjust his line and had taken a way wider angle there. But coming back strong. What is Otaaaq doing? That looked like such a great line, but that was also so risky, and he clipped it there. But again, different racing lines have been taken by the players here, and Barbos already 0.1 ahead here. 0.1 ahead of Binks, who is currently on second, and definitely in need of those points to come closer to Miku and Barbos. So MiQuatro currently is leading the race with 57 points, but not in this round. And Binks coming a bit closer there to Barbos as he gets more speed in this uphill section. But now the ending here, that part is really important to get good. The approach and also the drift here, because it determines if you make the ending or not. Binks coming closer, but it's not enough here. And Barbos takes it here with a 58.85. Binks on second, and then MiQuatro and Otaaaq on 3 and 4.
This map's difficulty could almost be something that could be played on an ESWC or Gamers Assembly LAN. This is a very tight map, built from the one and only MD Point, who has been contributing so many maps to competitive Trackmania already in the past few years. It's crazy how many maps he's built that always got into the competitions, into the official map pools. So MD Point knows what he's doing, and this map is the perfect portray for that. Very tight map. I would say a little slower than the previous one, at least in terms of average speed. So this map is very exciting. It does feel a little laggy though. I'm not sure. Like it's kind of laggy on the server at the moment. Feels a little slow motionish at the moment.
Exactly.
And, yep, we have the stop right here in the chat, so it seems like we do have some issues. I'm not sure what exactly has been causing this, but it felt fishy already. Oh shit! Now it's going faster. Oh god. Trackmania, ladies and gentlemen. The servers are doing their greatest to provide some content.
Oh man, Wait, I mean, it was slow because Binks was laggy actually, and then I was spectating the people and I was like, dude, am I living in slow-mo or what is happening? And then it all of a sudden went fast again. Only one thing that is missing would be that the car's getting smaller again.
Indeed. Well, it seems like everything is looking fine and dandy now. Going into the next round, no one's lagging. Everything is in normal speed, so it should be fine now. And this round is being led by MiQuatro. Actually, very decent lead. Already 1500s built up over the other players. Going into the first 30 seconds of the track. Oh, and that is a huge mistake by Otaaaq, who hit the inside of that corner. And then he was basically a passenger at that point. He just got flung into the next one, basically. Nothing he could have done at that point, but the rest is still very spicy. This round can go either way. We see MiQuatro going for a little bit of a wider line. He has a few kilometers an hour extra speed going over that hill. Now the precision part and the final drift here. It's all about exit speed. It's going to be super tight. I think MiQuatro's going to have it there with a couple more thousands.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a round.
What are those
MiQuatro
times?
went like, I don't know, how much of a difference was that? Was it just a few centimeters of a difference where he went wider? And that was the difference at the end, the very decisive difference. 1/100th of a second at the end. Incredible.
Yeah, that was incredible. And to give you guys a comparison, the WR is a 0.34, so that was whopping quarter of a second away from being WR. So that was a great round from both of them. And yeah, I think it was Otaaaq having some pad issues there. He was crashing last round, or yeah, it was Otaaaq, right? And
yeah,
now he's also on P4, so he's not really matching the pace here. And maybe it also killed your momentum, because if a round gets skipped or just forced to an end, or if you make a mistake or your pad DCs, that can kill your momentum and kill your whole round. And maybe this is what occurs to him right now. On the other hand, Binks is ready And Binks currently on a good run here and battling with Barbos and MiQuatro. But MiQuatro with a bad slide there has to settle MP3 for that. But the fight for first is still going on. Barbos with more speed over that upper, but it's not quite enough to catch Binks here. So Binks might have it unless Barbos pulls out an insane ending. No, that's not the case. Binks will take a 10-pointer here, a well-needed 10-pointer with a 58.75. Also a great time here. And yeah, with that, he comes closer and closer to MiQuatro and Barbos, but still, there is still a very huge gap between second and third.
These were definitely important points for Binks, because he's already 14 points behind second place, and the important thing in this match is that you come out as either first or second. If you get third or fourth, then you will have to go through the lower bracket and try again by playing another match. And that is, of course, taxing. The more matches you play, the more drained you will be at the end of the day, and energy levels have to be maintained through a competition like this. So ideally, you want to just make it through, take a rest, and maybe do some extra practice before going into the match. So yeah, very important for Binks. But this round is not looking very good for Binks. He made a mistake. Barbos made a mistake as well. So we have 2 errors already by the drivers, leaving us with the 2 remaining players here. We have Otaaaq finally with a chance to get some good points. He is also in dire need of some big points, and MiQuatro is there to extend his lead even further. Coming down to the ending, we see MiQuatro going wider, and this is definitely the line you want to take here. As you can see, he does pull away and up to first place. The ending now looking good here. Otaaaq very tight. Is he going to have enough speed? That is looking good here. 58.7, 58.8 by MiQuatro and Otaaaq, and with this, MiQuatro is going to go up in the lead on the total scoreboard with 85 points now for finished player. Barbos with 80, and Otaaaq and Binks continuously losing towards Barbos and MiQuatro.
Yeah, in general, it is not looking good for them. I mean, the gap is 16 points between second and third, and every time they are pointing, it's only a 6-pointer for them, because it is either Barbos or MiQuatro sniping that 10-pointer away from them. And of course, it's really important to get those 10 points to your name, because the match can be over very soon here. They can go up into finals mode theoretically on the next map called Bloodlust, a map by Kisla. And yeah, this map has also been seen in the competition that was played some weeks ago. It was the TCS, a team competition, and the WR is from Dexter, second WR is from Barbos, and yeah, Barbos has just dropped the .74 here, where I was like, oh, that is a good time. That was this map here, and it's a map by Kisla. And how can I describe it? You know, Kisla is known to put obstacles in your way where the optimal racing line is, something like that. And this map is really hard to get. You can see it here. We have to squeeze your car between there, and also the ending. It's not easy to nail this map. Also the pole there can be, Otaaaq has some pad issues again, can be really hard to get. So not sure what's going on with Otaaaq, but it seems that he has some pad issues, which is not good, of course.
Yeah, I wonder if this is maybe playing with his mentality in this match as well, because we do see Otaaaq currently sitting on dead last with 47 points. That's almost half of what MiQuatro has on first. So these issues definitely can play a crucial role in your mentality. They can really ruin your focus. And I can speak from experience. Sometimes when you have an already bad day, or when you have high expectations, and then these things, which are obviously out of your control, are kind of jeopardizing your entire match, that is not a nice thing to have. And it can really, boil down to completely losing your focus and making these mistakes that you would normally not do. So hopefully Otaaaq is not at that point. Hopefully he's going to be able to actually come back from this. The first round here on Bloodlust here from Kisla, we've seen a side ramp on that ramp being done by MiQuatro in the warm-up. Probably a little too risky if you want to go for consistency in the rounds. So far, all the players have made it through the start. As we pass a couple of these blocks taken from Trackmania 2 Stadium. So that's very interesting, that you have this kind of fusion between the TM2 Stadium, TMNF kind of map style with the new map style that Trackmania 2020 has brought in. And this round is actually super tight. Let's go into the final couple corners here. We see different approaches here by the players. Some going for the inside, some going for the outside the pillar. And it is a 3-man battle right now between Barbos, MiQuatro, and Otaaaq. Who's going to have the most speed here going through a triangle? And it is MiQuatro taking it with a 52.81, staying ahead by a hair. Like, that was almost nothing. Really, really close round here. Barbos on second and Otaaaq on third. That ending is really tight. because the triangle you jump through is barely wider than your car, and in a pressure situation like this, it's really easy to just hit it and you die.
Exactly, and I mean, there is a lot of money on the line. I mean, you have guaranteed money. I don't know the money distribution. I couldn't find it anywhere actually, but I think the top 6 will most likely get money. But of course, if you make it to the final, you already have more money compared to the person who is on 5th and 6th and so on. But yeah, actually, in that pressure situation, when you see it on the CPs and you see your car, like the number on the back, it's always changing in every CP, and you just know that people are close by. And also in this round, it's looking so close again between them. MiQuatro with more speed compared towards Binks, who made a small mistake after that, but currently is in the lead. MiQuatro goes for that inside approach as well as Barbos, but look at that. Hello, who's there again? Binks in first, MiQuatro with a little bit more speed. Is Binks gonna take it? Yes, he is. Is he surviving the ending? Yes, as well. And another sub 53.85. Again, a great time and a well-needed 10-pointer for Binks here to go up to 77 points and come dangerously close here towards Barbos. So only, quote-unquote, 13 points between them.
That's really good. I mean, Binks now with 77 points, he only needs 13 points to get back to 2nd place. So I think for Binks, nothing's over. Otaaaq with 54, I'm kind of worried about him now at this point. And MiQuatro now the first player to break through the 3-digit barrier here with 101 points. The Finnish player about to take it home here. But don't forget, finalist mode can be the decisive factor, and it can even dethrone the most dominant player if you've done like the craziest match ever, and then finalist mode just lets you, it stucks you somehow. It can really easily happen. Oh, and that's a mistake from Barbos. In a situation like this, you really don't want a mistake like that to happen, as his direct opponent Binks is now in 2nd place, trying to catch up to MiQuatro right now. Binks is the one who goes for the outside pillar, and he is actually closing in, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to go for the overtake here. Oh, MiQuatro losing grip, and that is Binks with the almost snipe. I was about to say he was almost sniping it. And 3,000s have been spreading MiQuatro and Binks apart. It really looked like he had it in the pocket, but I think he made some very small contact with the pillar there, and that allowed MiQuatro to secure these 110 points right there. Holy moly.
Yeah, and with that in mind, MiQuatro up to 111 points, and I think he actually won every round thus far on this map, if I recall it correctly. And with that, he can already secure himself the red name here in this round, so he can go up into the finalist mode. Nice Jinx, Turbo, nice Jinx. MiQuatro is making that first crucial mistake, as well as Binks here. So both of them are on P3 and 4, and Barbos and Otaaaq. Barbos, who was really struggling a lot actually and lost a lot of points, had a really good start into the race, and now is on track, is on P1. Great line here also from Otaaaq. So Otaaaq does not want to say, I want to have the 6-pointer. He wants to go for the attack, but Barbos still is leading and also has the superior line here in the ending. So Barbos is taking it unless he's failing the ending, but that's not the case. He goes for the safe finish and still drops a 52.82. That is a fast time. Barbos with 10, Otaaaq with 6, and then we have Binks and Miku, who both made mistakes, and MiQuatro up to 114 points. Still a very comfortable lead. But with that 10-pointer, Barbos is coming a bit closer and also creates a gap between him and the 3rd position.
Indeed. So looking at that map, going through the triangle isn't really the craziest time gain ever. You're most likely gonna scrape off like 200-300 of a second.
Yeah.
So that jump is only worth it if you're really in a direct battle with someone. If you're like neck and neck going to the final straight, then it might be worth to go for that jump. And very good decision making right there to just go to the left of it and make use of the rest of the space, because there's no point going for the risk and then you crash and you just lose your points. That doesn't make any sense. So very well done here, being wary of their situations. In Trackmania, obviously, it's very important to kind of be aware of where you are and what the opponents are doing, right? If you're 2 seconds ahead, there's no need to go for a jump like that. So good stuff right there being put to a portray by the players. And we are coming back to Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 1. The maps will, of course, rotate until we determine the 2 winners of this match. And it looks very good for MiQuatro. 114 points he needs. Ideally, a 1st or 2nd place in the next round to unlock finalist mode. And then he needs to win another round to secure his position in the grand final of this competition. Barbos with 103 needs a couple more rounds. And then Binks and Otaaaq really need to start getting the big points now. They need to start getting 10 points. Otherwise, it is going to look rather grim for them.
Exactly, and they could drop into the consolidation final that will be played just after. And of course, it's more draining, as you said beforehand. It's more draining if you just play yet another round before the final. And, you know, they already have a long day behind them and already played yesterday. Of course, they know what they're doing, but focusing for just like 30 minutes more can really make a difference. But of course, on the other hand, you can also be in the zone after that and just play outstandingly well in the final. So we're gonna see here, we're gonna start with round number 17 in total. MiQuatro is at 114 points and Barbos at 103, so a second place is enough. But what do I hear there from Riolu? It is MiQuatro making a mistake. So again, he is finding himself on dead last. Binks on first. Then there's Barbos with a great line here. Barbos was very strong on this map, if you remember that from the first rotation, and he's currently leading. But Binks is not giving up here. It's only 0.005 of a second between the French driver, the easy esports driver, and the shift driver here, the German player named Barbos. And let's take a look here onto the ending. Barbos with more speed, but goes for two inside there, and Binks will take it. Binks with a sub 53.
Wait,
no,
what?
not quite yet. 53.01. And actually, Barbos still gets second because also Otaaaq has made a mistake. And it seems that Otaaaq, that is devastating to see. He's making so many mistakes and is in dead last with 68 points.
I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure if you called it turbo, but Otaaaq was on his way to get second. And he just stopped accelerating on the last straight, letting Barbos pass. Now, I'm not sure if that's intended or not, or maybe he had some issues with his pad again. But you could clearly see Otaaaq losing speed for no visible reason. It could be the PayPal move right there. We're not quite sure, but that was definitely interesting. Barbos now up to 109 points, and this kind of messy round actually made the scoreboard a tiny tad closer, as the first mistake happened now from Barbos himself, who is now dropping down to dead last as a result, 1.4 seconds shy of the leader, and the rest is now going to battle it out. MiQuatro with a lot of speed going up to first place. Binks eating the wall there on the inside, super tight. Basically hugging it right there. Very nice round so far. Otaaaq with another mistake, and that is going to leave us with the two remaining players. Binks hitting on the outside as well, and that is the free 10 points for MiQuatro. Oh, Otaaaq actually sniping Binks right there, just in front of the end. Very close right there, but MiQuatro will get plus 10, and that means he's going to go into his very first finalist attempt. He needs to win a round, and then he's through.
But again, like it was the same as in the prior rounds. There was one player who was staying alive, and the others just finishing in between like 0.2 of a second, even though they were like 2 seconds behind. That was the same in the prior rounds, but you named it. It is MiQuatro up to finalist mode, denying some points to the other 3 remaining players, and has now this finalist attempt guaranteed alone. And then Barbos could join him, but it is MiQuatro making a mistake there, so MiQuatro feeling the pressure there, and Barbos on his way to unlock finest mode himself if he gets first position. Otaaaq, however, with a good amount of speed here, going into the last part of the track. It's important here to really not touch the right corner. You want to not steer it right too early there. But looking good for Barbos. But look who's there. The easy esports player is coming, but it's not looking good for him that he's overtaking Barbos. So Barbos will take the 10-pointer here with a 53.01. That is a time where he can easily win with. We have seen a 0.8 in the first rotation, but Barbos is also up into finalist, and we have a double finalist situation, Riolu.
That's going to be quite exciting. So one of these two players can seal the deal now. Binks is coming closer as well, 107 points. It's not over for Binks, but he needs to win those rounds now. He needs to deny the others their finalist status now, or perhaps we're going to see the comeback from Otaaaq. It is definitely possible going into the next round here, going through the first couple corners. Everyone absolutely super tight to each other. Very nice to watch these cars being like super close to each other.
Yep.
Basically picking the exact same line. And that is the first hit from Otaaaq, so no comeback from him there, unfortunately. He's going to drop down to last place, leaving us with Barbos. Also going very wide. I'm not sure if that was actually an intended line. It doesn't look like it did actually benefit him whatsoever. Binks a little too aggressively right there, and we will have the two finalists duke it out now for the qualification into the grand final. The last corner is going to decide it. It looks like MiQuatro will have a bit more speed, maybe a bit more precision by Barbos could give him the lead, and he does actually get it. Barbos with a tighter jump in the end. basically maximizing his angle right there, getting through the ring as early as he could, and that actually made the decisive difference. What a risky play by Barbos, and it did actually pay off for him, defeating MiQuatro by 100th of a second. That must hurt.
Yeah, so I thought that MiQuatro has it there in the ending because he just had a tiny tad more speed than Barbos. But Barbos, with the better angle, because of that lower speed, he could finish more to the right, and that was the important moment there. So again, decided by 0.1 of a second, 0.01 of a second, so 100th of a second. And yeah, Barbos is our first player in the grand final that will be played at 21. So at 21 CEST, so in 1 hour and 20 minutes. And we actually skipped the warm-up, and we're going to go live here into the first round again on Unova. So this is round number 21. Players have already played a lot of rounds. Everyone loaded in, so we just waited for the warm-up to let everyone load into the map. It is MiQuatro still in finalists. You don't lose your finalist mode if you didn't make it, and MiQuatro with a very good start. However, Otaaaq is on a roll here, gets himself a lot of speed. Binks is dead, so it's Otaaaq versus MiQuatro here for the ticket into the grand final. Otaaaq with a good amount of speed here, coming closer to MiQuatro in this section, but it's still MiQuatro in the lead with 0.05 of a second and also getting a good line. However, Otaaaq is pushing it here. Look at the lines from the French driver here. Very, very good tech turns here from Otaaaq, and MiQuatro has to push it here, else it will be a denial for MiQuatro. But he has more speed. Is he gonna get it? MiQuatro with the snipe! Pew pew! The Finnish sniper is back at it again, and MiQuatro is demoting Otaaaq and Binks into the lower bracket, and he's through in the grand final. What an ending from the Finnish driver. Man, that was crazy.
And MiQuatro actually took benefit from Otaaaq picking too tight of a line right there. You could see, I looked at his tires, and he did actually have to correct his line because he did oversteer that drift. So he had to stop steering for a brief moment, which, gave me the sign that MiQuatro with his wider line is most likely going to snipe it right there. And he made it happen, which means we do have our first two finalists already here in the UBITEAM Tech Tournament. Barbos from Germany and MiQuatro from Finland. And these two will have a guaranteed spot in the grand final. Binks and Otaaaq, as you said, are gonna have another shot at making it in the consolidation final, starting in X amount of minutes.
In 20 minutes, in 19 minutes, T-19 it will start. And just to give you guys some information from the other matches, first of all, thank you for Geek for the raid. Geek was also covering the match, so if you want to rewatch the loser bracket final, Geek casted it on his channel, on his YouTube channel, on his Twitch channel. And thank you so much for the raid. And there we had a close fight between Panda, Anna, Flyer, and Feet, aka Pack Jr. So Feet is Pack Jr. And Panda and Feet have made it. So they have qualified themselves to the consolidation final, and that will be played at 20 CEST. So in 19 minutes, it will be Panda, Feet, Binks, and Otaaaq who will battle it out for 2 spots in the grand final.
Beautiful. So that will give us the opportunity to quickly catch up what happened. I personally have a few resubs here. We have X Snap with 9 months. We have Arios with 100 bits. Tadsil with Prime, we have Gilman with 6 months, Patrose with the raid, Marty with Prime, Henny Freak with the tier 1, and Cake6 with Prime. Thank you for the support. Of course, no chat interaction during the casts.
Yeah.
But we have, a little bit of a pause right here. So actually, Turbo, how was your day?
Was good. I just played this one competition there. Where I got denied every time and got second because it was the TMGL format. So I know how you felt probably during this format, because I'm also not the fastest. I'm only consistent. But yeah, I'm doing good. Just learned for university and yeah, just having a blast. What about you though? What have you been up to?
Well, I watched today's Formula 1 race, which was definitely an experience. That was a very nice race to watch. Other than that, been working on a YouTube video which is coming soon.
Ooh.
Been on the editing table. Yeah. So gotta work on some content here for everyone to enjoy. But yeah, I'm doing good otherwise.
That's nice to hear, man.
I mean, complain.
That's nice to hear, and also always good to bring up some YouTube content. I also have to start my videos again because I'm working on this voice command thingy and I still haven't continued it.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I know where you're coming from, because it's like a lot of cutting work.
Yeah.
You have this fat, juicy VOD, and you only need to take out the interesting parts and make something nice out of it. And I can relate, because the project I'm currently working on is basically the same thing. I played the 1UP campaign, right? And,
yeah.
I want to make a highlight reel from that, but you gotta like filter out all the good moments and make it kind of nice to watch without making the whole thing be 5,000 hours long. So
yeah.
It's a challenge for sure. It's a challenge.
Exactly, it's a challenge, but I mean, it's just taking too much time. And for me, I prefer streaming compared to making a YouTube video, you know, because streaming, you have the direct feedback. It's easier and it's also content, you know. And if I make that video, I'm uncertain if it gets the, like, not the range, but of course you expect something when you upload something to YouTube, and that's why I'm a bit worried about, because I don't get the feedback when I make the video in this regard, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's sometimes you just gotta take the gamble, right? You gotta just try out what works and what doesn't. I think that's a lot what YouTube is about, I think. You gotta just see what the audience likes, and that way you kind of build up the content you kind of push on a more regular base, and that's how you roll, basically. That's how I feel like it's going on right now.
And also an advantage is that the content is 24 hours available, you know, it's available 24/7, and you can just check it out there. And on Twitch, it's only there when you stream, and that's a big advantage for YouTube, that it's just available every time. It's just very good.
Yeah, of course. Two completely different ways the platform work. You gotta embrace both. Twitch works differently than YouTube, vice versa. So gotta see how things work.
But also cool to see that Trackmania in general is growing. I mean, I can feel it as well. For me at the moment, I could have applied to the partner program. I didn't get accepted, but maybe for the next time I will get accepted. Who knows? But you know, there's so much hype and so much exposure in Trackmania that is just very cool to see. I also see that on your channel. Your channel is popping off as well. That's just, it's nice. It's just cool to see that.
Indeed. So if you guys are new to Trackmania, by the way, either on my channel or on Turbo's channel, it's good that you're here to watch some competitive Trackmania outside of the Trackmania Grand League. Because I think a lot of the new people, they only know the Grand League, right? Like, the Grand League is basically the biggest thing. And they probably look at the Grand League, they see the maps and they're like, okay, interesting. And they see the point system, they're like, okay, yes. But this is actually something else. This is something else. So we're playing basically what has been Trackmania for so long before the Trackmania Grand League was a thing. And you also know it yourself, Turbo. Back in the days, you only had tech. Nobody played anything else. You had tech. You had dirt, of course. You had full speed, but tech was the thing. Yeah, it was the shit. And if you were bad at tech, you were automatically bad at the game, sort of, because the other styles were just not as big. So you had to be good at tech, and crazy how times changed, actually.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And yeah, Trackmania Grand League, I mean, it's more of a mixed style environment now. And exactly, it is, tech was the shit, you just said that. And I remember myself when I played the True Talent Cups back then, I was so bad on tech. I was so bad, and I was just playing casually, and that's why I wasn't in the scene that much. But with Trackmania Grand League, there were so many new things introduced to that. But that's like the OG style, and that's also why it's so developed, why they're pushing it so much here. So that is just very cool to see. And yeah, I'm just receiving here a raid from Granadi with 200 people. So thank you so much, Granadi, for the raid. How did Cup of the Day go? Did you win a 5th time in a row? Or what happened? I'm keen to know. I'm keen to know now.
I know the result already. I'm not going to tell you till Granadi answers himself.
Okay.
Because I've been spoiled already.
Ah, okay. Made a stupid mistake. He didn't win. What place did he get though? Nah, he crashed. Okay.
I have no idea what place.
47th.
Ooh. Good job, man.
Did you pulling the turbo here? But turbo's not getting div 1, so. But still, GG's 4 times in a row. That's impressive, man. And also welcome to everyone here on my channel. Make sure to hit the follow button. I'm just cheaply advertising myself here because of that rate.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
Nah, it's all good. I heard that it was actually a map that I played in map testing 2 days ago, so another opportunity for me to win. It was a dirt map I knew, and here I am in the RTL Kommentatoren box instead. No regrets though. No regrets.
Yeah, it's a great match, and I mean we have the best 2 matches coming up now, because in the consolidation final it has always this last chance spirit, you know. The winner bracket and the loser bracket is getting summarized, and maybe some people who just clutched everyone in the loser bracket are now having the chance and like, oh, they are contenders for the final, or they used to be in the winner bracket final, and every player who is not making it here is eliminated. He's dead. He's not qualifying and not getting into the final, so that is always good to see.
Indeed. So I've been asked in the chat, what are our predictions? Who do we think are gonna move into the grand final? So we have, what are the players again? We have of course Binks and Otaaaq coming from the previous match. They will have a shot again. Who are the other 2 players? What can we expect from them?
The other 2 players in this match. So you mean Panda and Feed? Okay, so Panda, yeah, I didn't really see him too much throughout this competition, as well as Feed. I didn't see both of them too much, because I unfortunately also couldn't cast 2 matches today because of the Trackmania Formula League. But I can tell you to Panda and Feed that they played in a different competition, the Gamers Assembly, with a prize pool of 3,000 euro. They played that, and both made it into the final, so it was a bit of a different qualifier. But both played very well in that, and also Feed qualified to the grand final. So we had 4 qualification steps, and from each qualifier, one person went into the grand final and was battling it out for the prize pool of 3,000 euro. And Feed, so also a tech tournament, made it into the grand final and played against Pack, against Carl Jr., and also against Ratchet. And I think he got 3rd there. So a very great performance, and also Panda had the opportunity there. So they're definitely known tech players. Panda had a lot of WRs on those tracks, but usually, so I don't want to forecast anything, but Panda is sometimes lacking the pace on some parts or just not finding the consistency. But if he's in the zone, he's unstoppable.
Sounds good to me. I'm always just getting confused. When you say Feed, I need to think of feet, like, you know, feet, the things you walk on.
Feed.
So I keep getting confused. Feet? But it is of course feed. Feed as in feeding.
Yeah, sorry. For my mispronunciation there. Sorry.
Nah, it's actually not something. It's not you. It's just my ears. I'm old, you know. We're all getting older here. The things you walk on. Yeah. I mean, that was the easiest thing to to explain. Some pulled pork, cold soda, nice stream to watch. Enjoy. Sounds good. Pulled pork, nice.
Pulled pork, not pulling a virtual or what? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
no, you gotta explain that one. I didn't get it.
Didn't he say pulled pork? Pork?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said pulling a virtual because he pulls it every time. That was just a cheap joke.
My god. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Okay, so maybe Mod can think about a prediction here. You have let's just change the topic real quick. Panda, Feed, Binks, and Otaaaq. Maybe
There's one guy who laughed though. You have one, so it's something.
Really? One from 1,000. Pork. That's cool.
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah,
you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, imagine being on stage, 1,000 people watch you, and then only one person laughs. Then it's this awkward laugh, and this laugh is even more embarrassing than you're telling the joke. So I can pass the ball back.